All right, Thomas, thank you so much for joining today. And the traditional question, who is Thomas Kralow? Actually, we know you that you're a big influencer across YouTube, across X, and you have several businesses, but how do you position yourself today?
It used to be a very challenging question, but I guess at this point I'm just a chairman of Event Horizon for our own L2. And that's it. And it just encompasses all the things that I've been working on for the last 10 years in one place, in one ecosystem. So finally I can just not list a shit ton of stuff I'm doing, and I'm just saying Event Horizon, and that's it.
All right, and why did you, come up with the idea of creating your own exchange? I think you've been quite successful and you've been collaborating with different exchanges.
Yeah, I worked with many exchanges, and what I've realized throughout the years is that building your own thing is always a lot more scalable than just promoting somebody else's business, even though it's still lucrative. I mean, I made a lot of money from Bybit and BitGit, and I still do, but at the same time, when you're creating something of your own, it just leaves some kind of legacy, and you can finally play a big boys game, even though sometimes it's a bit more challenging, but I think it was just time. And besides, also, I think you will agree, since you also have a DEX, that because of the regulations, right now, a lot of influencers, they're mostly struggling to keep up the volume and not to actually bring it up because of, you fight for the volume to go up, and then they have KYC in some country, and then your volume drops. So this just says that the future is among DEXs. And since I'm so good at affiliate marketing, I didn't see a DEX that would actually have very good UI and would have a very aggressive affiliate marketing system. So we're just taking the both worlds and combining it all in a DEX world.
How would the affiliate system work at Event Horizon? Because that's definitely a problem, right? No one has been promoting any DEXs from the big influencers so far, because it doesn't bring you revenues.
See, well, the reason why it is in this way is because of the model that is being used. Even if you look at DYDX or you look at IEVO or any one of our top competitors, their affiliate marketing is not as advanced as it is, for example, with Bybit, from what my understanding is. Even it's not as aggressive. They're not giving you crazy percentages like Bybit is. And down the road, retail, for the most part, they kind of want to be educated on the best practices, which is using a DEX. But at the same time, a lot of the DEXs have poor UI, meaning that there is a lot of issues with using a DEX. And the affiliate marketing is just not aggressive enough. So therefore, this balance is just not competitive enough for top influencers to really promote them, as per my findings. That's why Event Horizon is going to have the same interface as, for example, Bybit, but at the same time, it's going to have just as an aggressive affiliate marketing system as Bybit, if not better. Because actually, for example, Bybit is sharing commissions only from futures trading and some spot, but we're going to share commissions on everything, including debit cards. So it's going to be a lot more lucrative for influencers.
Awesome, but what is happening with the market right now? Because we've seen lots of good news this year, right? It was ETFs, halvings, and the other news, but it looks like it's draining, right? And there's not much positive, attitudes from the traders, from the users.
Quite frankly, even though I really expected a different, I shouldn't say expected, I think I was hoping for a better performance of the market during the summer, even though a lot of my analysts said that probably it's not going to be the case, but I still was hoping for something better. But in reality, if you just rewind 4 years back and you look at the liquidity cycle, the M2 money supply, or elections for that matter, you will see that exactly the same thing. The up move after the summer began on October the 8th in 2020. So we are literally at the forefront of it. And right now it is just the time of low liquidity to kick all the disbelievers and the let us weak hands out of the market, in my opinion. Or it is the beginning at the end. We're gonna find out,
Are you still positive that we're gonna beat the all-time highs this year or the 2025?
I'm pretty sure. Now, I have no doubts about 2025. About this year, it's really going to depend on so many things. It's going to depend on Fed and how aggressively they're going to be reducing the interest rates. So far, it seems like they're going to be aggressive enough. It also is going to depend on who wins the elections and what kind of, if Democrats, God forbid, win, then, in my opinion, then what's going to matter is their stance on crypto and what they want to do. Because if Gary Gensler becomes the takes on another spot in some important position in the U.S. government, something with associated with finance, then that's going to be quite sad as to what they want to do. So it's going to depend on many things, but I'm still incredibly bullish. And I mean, if you look at the price, we're doing really well anyway. People just don't know how to zoom out.
All right. And you're bullish on Bitcoin and Ethereum only, or when the summer for altcoins are going to come?
See, most of my portfolio is Bitcoin. Recently, I've been adding more to Ethereum just because I think it is still an asymmetrical bet considering everything that's happening and what Ethereum is doing. Even in terms of our DEX, for example, we're building it on Ethereum and we're using the Optimism stack just so we didn't go for Solana or any other one for a few particular reasons. So I'm not like an Ethereum maxi, but I do believe in it as opposed to some other protocols. So my heaviest bets are Ethereum and Bitcoin, but certainly I'm also a degen here and there. So I do like to go into some meme coins and some garbage, but not with more than about 10% of my entire portfolio, just because I know what it ends up being. And the recent months have proven this strategy to be correct.
All right, and I think now we're seeing that a lot of newcomers are coming to the market thanks to the Telegram mini apps, right? And of course, the motivation of those people mostly just to grab the drop and leave, right? Or you think it might be useful for the market? I mean, how do we turn those people from the developing countries who are using mini apps to tap some points and then convert them into tokens? Can they be really useful, or you think it's just come and go thing?
Well, I think it is definitely a come and go thing, just like the meme coins, because this cycle has been reversed. Usually it is the opposite, and right now we had a reverse cycle where meme coins were just rallying without anything else. But after we've seen tens of thousands of those being launched per day on some pump.fun or whatever it was, it just diminishes the whole entire purpose because there's not enough people in the entire world to keep plowing money into this garbage. So all these things, they come and go, and same thing with tap games. They come and they go. It's just a trend. And I think that together with meme coins, the tap games, the trend is slowly starting to cool down. But is this a good way of bringing new people into the industry? And the answer is yes. Because again, these are usually the people who are interested in making a quick buck. However, it really depends on the back-end maximizer of knowledge, so to speak, as to what you offer beyond just the tap game itself. If it is just, that's just my subjective opinion. If you're just doing a simple tap for no reason, and there is no product behind it, and there is no maybe further ongoing tasks which would also contribute to the airdrop. So for example, in Event Horizon, yes, we have a tap game, we have 2.5 million users, but certainly we're not expecting those 2.5 million users to be converted directly into the users of the DEX. It's obvious. However, we can increase that conversion rate by educating people through the next tasks as to what is the difference between the DEX and the DEX, how to trade, what is the difference between the dollar and crypto and the blockchain. So if you give them some, tasks to participate in maybe some AMA sessions where you actually educate them and you give them a reward for it down the road, then it actually becomes very beneficial for the industry because people initially come there to make a quick buck, but they leave with a quick buck and they leave with knowledge. And they become market participants. At least, even if it's a fraction of those people, it still is a success in my opinion.
But we've seen, retrodrops and airdrops before, and they were way much more difficult to achieve, right? You think those people who used the airdrops before and they had to create multiple wallets, buy some NFTs, use the bridges to, convert from one chain to another, were they more useful? Because we're seeing some projects who did the airdrops, right, before, and the capitalization of those projects actually also drained.
See, well, as a person, I have one of my businesses is a retrodrop farm. I have one of the biggest retrodrop farms in the world. We've been farming so many different projects. Some where we got burned, some of the projects we made 20x on. So I know this industry inside out, and quite frankly, even though I'm a commercial farmer, so to speak, it is not exactly something that the projects really enjoy because we're there to make crazy money. We don't give a shit about anything. We just see if the project is fundamental. And I think that the project at the end of the day also gets something. They get money because whenever you're using a bridge or you're completing a task, for the most part, you're actually spending money on gas fees or whatever. So, and it goes usually to the project for the most part. So it still is participation in the ecosystem, but quite frankly, there is a reason why these projects are fighting farmers owners is because they're not usually bringing any utility. They're just making money for themselves and their investors. So that side is not the best side, I suppose.
But you don't look at the mini apps as a degradation of the industry, right? So it's not going down. It's just a way to bring new people who are not that well educated, who are not that degen as the previous ones, right?
It's just good marketing. It just works. And people are enjoying this. It's the same as with meme coins. People look at the price, they see 0.000, whatever. They don't understand what is market cap. They don't understand what is total supply, so they are assuming that if this piece of shit hits $1, they're gonna become billionaires. So this brings a lot of people to the industry, and then hopefully they get educated and it matures. But it's just like with any other trend. There's good things about it and bad things.
What are your thoughts again about the meme coins? You're calling it a piece of garbage, but still, it's kind of a attention economy thing, right? And there are lots of people buying this. Some, of course, most of them lose money, but some of them make money. Like, what's your thoughts on this phenomena? I would say, which actually had the third birth this year.
For me, again, I call these coins garbage just because they have nothing fundamental. If you look at my portfolio, I usually look at things that are fundamental, that actually have a reason for existing, and that are not just pure degen gambling casino type of thing. Which, again, do I play sometimes in a casino? When I'm in Vegas, I like to gamble a little bit. When I'm in Monaco, I gamble a little bit, just for fun. I'm not addicted to it. Same thing with meme coins. You want to gamble and make a 10x? Well, go for it. But predicting how high a meme coin is going to go and what kind of real-world utility it's got, it's like trying to predict the insanity of a human being. It's impossible. It's just not binary almost at this point. So therefore, for me, it is garbage. But I still participate in those, and I think that this is something that brings a lot of people to the industry for the most part. So yeah, it's just and again, if you look at big ones like Dogecoin or Shiba, or you look at maybe Pepe of this cycle, Bonk, whatever, they have really strong communities, which in of itself is not garbage. So, but in my opinion, the best projects are that actually have a very strong community, strong marketing, and a good product that really solves real world problems. This is the best place to be, because if it's just one of the things and it's just number go up, it becomes a bit shaky. But profitable if you're in the right time, in the right place.
So about the trading, right? You used to, you're probably still educating people about trading on your YouTube channels. You have the academy and so on. So do you think trading can be for everyone? Because, for example, myself, I cannot call myself a trader, right? I'm more an investor, cost dollar averaging kind of a guy, right? Because I simply cannot, cope sometimes with my emotions. I cannot simply spend 24/7 or 24/8 hours and days of the week at the monitor. So is really trading for everyone or not? And what are the things which makes a trader?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I've been into trading for about 10 years now. I started with regular futures trading. I've traded many different markets before I came to crypto. I've done okay. I made some money, but it was probably one of the hardest times in my entire existence, because especially when you understand that you're dependent on it and you're looking at a market, you're trying to predict the smallest market frequencies. This is something that is almost, well, it's not impossible, but there is so many variables that, like, if you're looking at the bigger picture, we understand liquidity. Sooner or later, Bitcoin's got to go up. So if you buy spot, it's really hard to lose money. You have to be really specially disadvantaged in your mind to lose money on spot. And if your time frame is 4 years, 8 years, you will always make money, for the most part. So when you're trying to predict, and then those smallest variables, they're not as important because you're looking at the big picture. But if you're looking at the smallest things, you can predict, you can have fundamental analysis, you can have technical analysis, you can understand whatever is happening in everywhere in the world. You're so zoned in, you have 10 years of experience, and you long the market because it is obvious this shit is gonna go up. And then there is Powell. He suddenly decides he wakes up in a bad mood, he tweets some garbage, and it just reverses and stops you out. So what I'm trying to say with this is that it's not impossible to make money in trading. You have to be very strong mentally. You have to have some kind of financial reserve, because you cannot rely on it solemnly on trading, because it's going to pressure you so much that you're going to make stupid decisions and it's going to just break you. And overall, you have to have a very strong strategy that encompasses many ways of analyzing the market, not just one. People usually use what they think, oh, fundamental analysis, or maybe technical lines and indicators, and all that stuff is great, but it is great until it's not. So you really need to be able to adjust to the market with a very flexible strategy. And all the things I've just mentioned, 99% of traders don't have any of it. They just go in, they think they will watch some YouTube video and they will long Bitcoin and they'll be rich. So, and at the end of the day, they keep losing money. So if anybody's getting into trading, do it. Just do it in a smart way, please.
But do you really have to trade? Because if you look back at the results of venture capital firms, let me say it again. If you look back at the venture capital results and the trading fund results and compare it with the growth of Bitcoin or Ethereum, it just obviously makes more sense just to keep the Ethereum and Bitcoin. But with trading, you have to spend, lots of, time and sometimes and usually money to educate yourself that you have to just hold and do nothing, right?
Yeah.
Because usually in the long run, it shows like 5, 10%, 15% a year of, revenues and income for trading. What do you say about this?
You're absolutely right. And also when I'm not afraid to admit that about 97% who actually trade actively end up losing money. I'll be honest with you, I've had years when I would be losing money in trading. Like I could have a year where I'm just working 24/7 just to lose money. And it's not just months or quarters, it can be years. So it's the reality of it. If you look in times of uncertainty, 95% of Wall Street hedge funds underperform S&P 500. Really, Wall Street. So considering this, and they're not doing some scalp trading. So considering this, you need to understand just one simple reality. The higher the risk, the higher the potential return. So if you are in a position to put in, you have $1 million, just buy Bitcoin, sit on it, you'll be fine. Even at current prices, you will be okay. But if you have $2,000, what are you gonna do? I mean, you got a family to provide for. So people just go full degen, high risk. That's it. So certainly there is 97% probability of blowing up, but that's just the way it is. It just is. You make your own decision and you make your own luck.
What about the future? We're all seeing that artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, and all this kind of algorithms are, evolving and, getting better and better. But from the other side, we understand that, bots can be trading with bots. There should be humans to take money out of them usually, right? Yeah. Is there any future for AI that it helps trading, or it will change the industry, or it will change the way we trade?
I think so, because currently with AI, it makes you so you can be so lazy yet successful just because everything is at your fingertips if you know how to use AI. So same thing with trading, but will ever robots fully replace humans? I don't really think so, because everything's got logic to it. So if there is logic to what bot is doing, the human should be able to understand that, therefore should be able to trade. And nevertheless, from my experience, I could be wrong here. I've never worked for BlackRock. I've never worked for Goldman Sachs trading floor. So I'm not particularly sure how exactly they're using their algorithms. I've spoken to some people, but I just don't want to make any statement because I don't really think I might be having the correct information. So from my understanding is any algorithm, I'm just not even talking about those algorithms that people tend to believe in, $27 on the internet. I think any good algorithm is going to probably be worth hundreds of millions of dollars, something proper. But besides, even then, I think it is not the algorithm that you just click a button and it just trades for you. I think it is something that is operated by humans anyway. So, and it has to be adjusted. People have this misconception that there is a bot, you click a button and it just does shit for you. It's in the movies, it fucking doesn't exist. Even in Goldman Sachs, from my understanding, it is all operated by humans down the road, at the end of the day anyway.
What about copy trading? I think this year only Binance introduced the copy trading for crypto. Other exchanges did it a bit earlier. There was copy trading for regular assets before, right? And when you come into the page of some exchange, you've seen some great results. This trader have been making 300% a month or 500% a year. should users go into the copy trading, because it seems to be an easy way of just distributing some money if they have $2,000, putting them into like 10 traders and diversify and just win? No,
not really. From my experience, because I've tested this, I always thought that copy trading is something that could drive a lot of volume, and it does, because you just tell a person, listen, you don't need to do shit, you can just use it, and that's it. So it is great, but in my opinion, so copy trading in general is great. And I think the way that actually has been created successfully before, copy trading was done by eToro. And eToro became a multi-billion-dollar company, and they've done really well. And for the most part, a lot of their marketing material was about copy trading. You remember those ads? This guy's name is Steve, this is John. John is maybe plucking his hair out, and Steve is copying somebody else's trades. So they've done exceptionally well with it, but the way how they restricted master accounts was like, it is pretty restrictive. What happens in crypto copy trading today is a scam. I don't know, I haven't seen what Binance does, but I've seen other exchanges. I'm not going to be naming names, just because I don't want to be arguing with them later on after this video. In other exchanges, it's just pure scam. We've tested so many times this before, and just to give you an example, anyone, you can create a profile yourself. You can, one account you can long, the other one you can short with 100x leverage. You can fake the statistic of your account, and then the real accounts that are underperforming sometimes because the market can be shit sometimes, cannot compete with those accounts that are just fake, that have $10 in them, and then they attract investments, and then they just blow up because it is going to be some kind of a cheap grid bot or some garbage. So nobody really controls who are the master accounts. And I'm not even talking about technicalities, because for active day trading, current copy trading methods that we've seen on other exchanges, which we're trying to perfect at Event Horizon, because Event Horizon is going to be also centered around decentralized copy trading. So what we found out is, for example, on some of the exchanges we tested it at, when we use a limit order, which is cheaper, obviously, everybody else's, who are copying us, they're getting a market order. Like, are you fucking kidding me? It's crazy. So at the end of the day, we have plus 40% in a month, and people have plus 15 just because everything was eaten up by market order commissions. And there is a lot of stuff like this. So in my opinion, there is a huge future for crypto copy trading, but at this point, and they're trying to fix it, and Bybit is coming out with this pro copy trading where they've solved some of these issues that I've mentioned. But in general, it is still a bit raw. But I think there is a big future in it for sure, because people don't want to do shit and they want to make money.
Absolutely. But still there is a lot of conspiracy theories, right, around the market, around the crypto market, that has been created by the US government just to, keep all the money in their pockets. And we're kind of, seeing some proofs that, they are doing the ETFs, and more Bitcoins are just, moving towards the US or Kremlin or whatever government it is. There are like many thoughts around this. You think there is any truth in this, or it's like, who created Bitcoin? We never know, right? And we still don't know. But sounds like it's a big, very powerful movement, should be controlled by someone.
Quite frankly, I don't have any proof of anything, even though I do like to theorize sometimes, and especially conspiracy theories. I'm a fan of some of them, and I'm quite deep into some of them. But when it comes to Bitcoin, quite frankly, what bothers me is that NSA, CIA, whatever, any one of MI6, any one of Mossad, any one of these agencies, they probably saw Bitcoin at its inception. They're not really that stupid, right? They scan deep web constantly, and they just see, when in New York in 2012, when I still lived in New York, they actually had this first Bitcoin exchange place in Manhattan, I think it was. So I don't really believe that they didn't know about it back then, when the actual output of the entire Bitcoin ecosystem was not that powerful. So they could have overpowered it and killed it if they wanted to. And currently, when we're reaching the power levels of 500, 600, 700 exahash of power output, it is impossible to stop it. And they knew it. It's all numbers. It's all zeros and ones. So the fact that they didn't stand in the way of it, that they didn't ban it, and China did, which also made me think that if China bans something, that usually they're banning something that is associated with America. But it's just me. But yeah, and now it just seems to be coming, closer and closer to the government, and US states like state of Wisconsin and I think Maine or like New Jersey, whatever, they're actually buying Bitcoin through their pension fund systems. So the government is buying Bitcoin. It makes you wonder. And now suddenly Larry Finn and the BlackRock comes out and says, oh, you know what? I've been wrong this entire time. This is an actually fantastic type of an asset and it is the future. It kind of makes you think, right? So yeah, but I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, I'm kind of neutral about it. I guess if the US will really try to save the dollar with the use of Bitcoin, I mean, I hope that you have a lot of Bitcoin because it's going to be fucking expensive.
Definitely. Thomas, you know, there's there's an anecdote that the first thing the billionaire who makes money on Bitcoin is doing is he's going to teach people how to trade Bitcoin and sell the courses for like $10, right? So there is a question always to people who are public and who are successful in trading. Why would you share your results? Why would you share your knowledge with someone else if it makes you tons of money, right?
See, for me, it is a simple explanation. For me, I've always was for diversification, even though I'm a crypto maxi, like I don't really believe in fiat, but in my personal bank account, Vladimir, if you looked at it, you would think like, who is this per person? Like, I don't have much money in my personal bank account, honestly. So for me, I really am a believer in crypto, but at the same time, I do believe in additional income sources. You know, people ask me, I recently bought a Bugatti and people told me in the comments, like, are you retarded? Why are you buying a Bugatti with whatever when you can have money in crypto and this? For me, I bought it from my additional income sources. I have currently 11 income sources from educational materials to both of my funds, which is Kralow Ventures, Kralow Capital. We're building Event Horizon, where we just launched a educational product which is called the Game Changer, where people for $27 per month can get access to 20 plus different topics, from mindset to spirituality to fitness to trading to affiliate marketing, so many things. So, and all of these things down the road, and also partnerships on social media, and also big money, it just keeps feeding the whole basket, which led me to the point where I can finance Event Horizon single-handedly. I don't need money. And I'm already millions of dollars into it, I don't care. And then at the end of the day, certainly we're gonna raise some money, but it just gives me freedom. And I don't depend on the market. Because yeah, I made millions from crypto and I've done it publicly. I've showed my trade, somewhere I lost money, somewhere I made money. But I've also made millions from other things in the background. It's just business, nothing else.
So if there's a trader who is ultimate trader, who knows everything, super professional, and the yeah, exactly. And the newbie, for example, the newbie is 1 and the ultimate trader is 10. You think where you at these grades, and what else do you need to know, or what experience you need to achieve to be the ultimate one who doesn't exist yet?
Well, I think that they do exist. Let me just correct myself here a little bit. Just to answer a question, from 0 to 10, as per my trading experience for the last 10 years, I'm a solid 7, I would say. And I think that I could probably be a little bit deeper with the stuff that is out there available to me, you or retail or anyone else. But the rest, to be at 9 or to be at 10, you need to be at BlackRock. You need to know what the hell they're doing. You need to have insider information, because that's the power. Like, I know some people who make tons of money in crypto constantly, but they're involved in pump and dumps. So they know the tokens they're shilling, that they will be shilled elsewhere. And they just, I mean, I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about too. So the only way to consistently print something is if you control it. As long as you're in a market that's got a lot of free float and you ain't got control over that free float, dude, it doesn't matter if you're in crypto and stocks and whatever, there is going to be a chance somebody's going to fuck up your day. So the only difference there is to become the superhero of trading is to become a criminal, is to have insider information that others simply don't. That's just my opinion, though. Maybe I'm wrong.
You know, I've been working at Binance, and I really like the way CZ was transparent and was talking to people, communities all the time. And I think like crypto is always about the communities. But there are some projects and even exchanges where founders are not, are not public, right? Do you believe that now everyone who runs a business, not only in crypto, should be a public person, should run their own Telegram channel, YouTube's, X, and etc., or it depends. It really depends on something, right?
Yeah, to be honest, right now, in the light of everything that has happened, and like SBF situation, FTX and Celsius and Luna and all of this, I think that people are still a bit reluctant and they have a little bit of a hangover after all these events. So if they see something that doesn't have a face, even though I understand that all of those actually basically had a face, but especially if there is nobody known behind it, like I would be very reluctant to use something that actually you have to trust your money even distantly, and then you don't know who is behind it. So the same thing like some meme coins that nobody knows who is behind it. Like, I mean, are you kidding me? So like, why are they not showing their face? There is always only one reason. That's why like whenever I do something, I put my face on it, because I've been working on my reputation on social media for the last 3-4 years. And if I just screw something up, it's painful. It is expensive because my reputation is at stake. So if there is no reputation at stake, then what's at stake? Like at Event Horizon, you know, like it's the work of our lives, you know, in our team. So like we are happy to put our faces on it because we believe in it. And if we didn't, if it would be just a bunch of advisors and who the hell knows who is the team, I don't think this kind of a project can be successful.
100%. You've been in trading for quite a long time, right? Did trading change somehow at the beginning when you started, and now is it different, or it's all the same?
Certainly things change, volatility changes, market players change, market structures change just because the players change, and the way how they behave, how they manipulate the market. The market is constantly changing. But for me overall, I cannot say something changed because it's ever evolving. And you need to accept the market for an ever-evolving organism because so many things change in it. So if you're using just the same kind of a strategy you've been using in Forex in 1998 and you're trying to apply it in crypto today, probably it's not going to be as efficient just simply because it's outdated. And you need to apply certain changes based on your findings in your performance review of your trading to your strategy to improve it. And therefore, whatever changes come, you will always know how to adjust. Therefore, did anything change? The most important concept of trading is adjusting your strategy as you go, and based on your findings that actually were the impact on your strategy overall, like all these changes in the market. So you need to pay attention to them. So therefore the answer is no, nothing changed. It was always constantly different, and it always stays constantly different at a certain time horizon. That's it.
Is your public strategy or public videos, what are you talking about in them, different to your personal one, or you have different, different ways to trade and different strategies to implement?
No, not really. It's like, certainly we need to differentiate Kralow Capital, which is our hedge fund, which is regulated by SEC. We are not allowed to do anything with leverage, with futures. So like oftentimes on my YouTube channel, I can show you some leveraged Ethereum trade or something more or less reasonable in terms of leverage. But for example, Kralow Capital would never trade like that just because we're not allowed to trade like this. And for the most part, we are a hedge fund, so we do a completely different style of trading. It's mostly portfolio management rather than trading. So certainly if there is a hedge on a position, it can still be on futures, but it's different. You're not doing it for gain, you're doing it for a hedge. So same thing goes for example, my daily trading. I can sometimes degen into some rubbish just for fun and maybe sometimes make a video about it, maybe not. But for the most part, I'm very transparent. I show every single trade that I do, and for the most part, everybody knows that I'm a holder of X amount of tokens, and I'm just gonna keep holding them until Valhalla. And as for other strategies, I've always disclosed the strategies we used in Kralow Capital. Those are very boring, not interesting, and they're basically liquidity cycle trades. So we've been buying Bitcoin at 17,000 when FTX collapsed. A lot of the Bitcoin Kralow Capital purchased at 17K, together with me personally as well, and we're just sitting on it. We have crazy unrealized gains, but that's not going to be realized until we say it's going to be realized. It is a different approach. So yeah, it just depends on what we look at, but I'm transparent about everything.
The psychology, I think everyone understands that it's an important part of daily trader's life, right? But no one's really talking about how to cope with this, right? Because people who are very excited about the gains, they realize the gains, and then Bitcoin goes even higher, or they think it's the end of the road and they sell it at very low prices. Like, what's your basic approach on psychology of people who want to trade and who want to make money out of trading?
You know, I'm happy that you've asked this because everybody's always focused on money. They think that money is the most important thing. They think that they're going to get that Richard Mille, Patek Philippe, or a Ferrari or whatever, and it's going to make them happy. In reality, what people do is they spend their lives endlessly chasing something that is within them. You know, and I'm just answering your question in a very long manner because, I mean, these kinds of topics really, I care more about these topics than anything else. Because for me, I've realized that I've been on a journey for about 10 years to go from where I was to where I am today, and I've done okay, maybe not the best, but okay. And what I've realized is that whenever I would be dreaming about that particular car or that particular deposit size or that particular profit, once you get it, you kind of feel empty on the inside. So it's like, okay, what's next? Whenever you're focused on only material stuff, you always keep getting depression because, yeah, you could be happy for a couple of days, but then you're like, what's next? So this dopamine that you receive from the victory is a lot smaller in comparison to what you believed it would be while going through this entire journey of 3 years to get there. It's just not worth it. So my suggestion to any one of my students, and that's why there is a huge emphasis on mindset and game changer, that first, you learn to love yourself. First, you learn to love people around you. You learn to respect time and the existence of your own and the people around you. And you learn how to put yourself in the state of flow, which is actually gives you the ability to summon the feelings of love, feelings of gratitude. People are fucking ungrateful, it's crazy. And the real feeling of internal unparalleled, unfathomable levels of happiness. And this is what it's called to be in the moment. Because we always live in the future, or we have the anchors from the past, but we never care about now. Because future doesn't exist. What happened yesterday is not coming back. All you've got is now. And people don't understand this. And when you actually master this and you find out who you really are from the inside and you fall in love with that persona and you move through life in peace and love and happiness, this is the state of mind in which you should be a trader because you really are happy already. And in this state, actually battling any issues like overtrading or revenge trading is going to be 10 times easier than if you're constantly miserable and you're chasing that Lamborghini because Thomas just bought a Bugatti. Just fucking delete Instagram, please. Just delete it. Don't look at anyone. Look at yourself and love yourself. That's my best suggestion.
But there are some goals or something which turns Thomas Kralow on for the future still, except being happy at the moment. I mean, like, you still have some goals or dreams you want to achieve?
Yeah, no, it's definitely, you know, they're not as much material as they used to be, but we still have, because this is my nature and everybody's different. For me, since as a kid, I just couldn't sit still on a stool for 5 minutes. I always needed to do something constantly, boom, 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 something new, something changing, ever evolving progress. So I really am addicted to progress. I enjoy it and it also contributes to my happiness. And I just try to see how far can I go. But I don't really, the difference is I don't attribute my happiness to the success of the things that I'm working on. If something blows up, even Event Horizon, I don't really think it's going to fail, but if it does, it was an interesting experience. Will I be happy about it? Yes. Honestly, with all honesty, if it fucking blows up, I'll still be happy about it because it was an amazing journey and I can always find something positive in it. So it's all about mindset and how you look at things and how you let those things manipulate you.
Are you doing trend watching in terms of crypto, in terms of technology? What the next things that are coming up within the next year, the next couple of years? What should be interesting to people and which should, grow?
I think that I think it's very basic what I'm gonna say, but I think that meme coins will stay a little bit like big ones, but the biggest emphasis is gonna come back to fundamentals, to real world application. I think it's gonna be a huge trend on Ethereum because BlackRock is pushing Ethereum for a reason. They really want to connect it with the real world. So there's gonna be a trend on ETH. in my opinion. Certainly, there's going to be some emerging small trends, like we were saying on Tron, with the Memecoins and stuff. So it's like, yeah, it could be another one. But I think that the majority of what I would be personally focusing on is ETH and probably GameFi, AI, and some of these, bigger fundamental niches that actually have some real-world applications.
What's in your portfolio right now? Like, what's the things which you will never, which you're stick to?
Yeah, it's a long list. But quite frankly, I am the biggest believer in probably things like, outside of Bitcoin and ETH, I love SUI, I love Optimism, I love, quite frankly, I have like 50 tokens in my portfolio, which is overly diversified, and some of the things are probably should go, because believe it or not, I still hold Cardano. Even though, like the market is like half dead, I still hold XRP. And they're strong in community, but it's a fucking stable coin. So, and Cardano, the same thing, Hawken is trying to do something and he's a believer in fundamentals, but their marketing sucks, it's garbage. So, but I still hold them. But so therefore my portfolio is probably not the best example altogether, but I would probably like the biggest bets would be something that is out of the box, fresh. And a lot of the projects that we also formed before, SUI, Aptos, Arkham, Arbitrum, and there are many of them, quite frankly, probably even Render. There's Beam, if we're talking about GameFi. There's probably a good top 10 that I could be looking as would be the best parts of my portfolio. But quite frankly, these things change sometimes on a weekly basis in terms of narrative and sentiment. But these are just to name a few.
If there would be a person of, let's say, 18 or 20 years, sorry, if there would be a person of 18 or 20 years old in front of you right now who says that they are just in love with crypto, but do not know where to start and what to do, but they really, their eyes are on fire, they really want to do something, what would you tell them?
To be honest, my opinion has changed in the last couple of years. I used to, if it was old me, probably a couple of years ago, I would just say, listen, just learn to trade and just trade the shit out of the market. But right now, what I've realized is that, you're going back to one of your older questions, is if trading is for everyone, and the answer is obviously not. I wouldn't be just working on one thing. Yes, trading can be your passion, but you should be focused on building the best version of yourself in this life. So I'd work on yourself in general, trading being maybe 10% of it. So it is the way how you project yourself to the world. So it is mindset. I'd be working on nutrition, because what you eat is what you are. It is important to that actually you eat well. Then I would be working on my routine. I'd be very disciplined from day one, because today, even me, I'm so fucking disciplined, it's pretty crazy. Like my day is scheduled like boom, 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 one after the other. Then I would be working on deep relationships. So wife, husband, family, whatever, something that to create unity and a powerful core. I've been together with my wife for 8 years. I've never cheated on her ever in my entire life. So, and we are one of the strongest cores that I have. It's one of my most prized possessions is my relationship with my wife. So build very deep, long-lasting relationships with friends, with relatives, with your better half. Whatever. Then work on your understanding on personal finances. Work on your understanding of general investing, on general market tendencies and geopolitics, etc. And learn trading as you go. So that's what, for example, I hate plugging my products and stuff, but this is what Game Changer is about. So $27 and you get access to all of it. So per month. So, and build, most importantly, what I'm going to suggest here is build cash flow, because cash flow, there is kids who are, crypto is all great and stuff, but if you're sitting there with your $2,000 and you're trying to make $1 million, the chances of you succeeding are extremely low. And especially when you're depending on this job. So make sure you have money coming in from somewhere else. It could be your job for the beginning. It could be affiliate marketing, insane niche. It could be high ticket closing. It could be whatever, something you're making at least 5 to 10, 15K a month, which might seem like a lot, but you can reach it in social media. There is kids making TikToks, making millions of dollars. So anything is possible as long as you apply yourself. So, and develop into the state of mind where you can actually permit yourself to be the best version of yourself. So it's a complex work on yourself throughout your entire life, not just one thing. That would be my best suggestion.
That's the best suggestion, definitely. Thomas, thank you so much for your time. It's been great talking to you. It was a pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vladimir. Thank you very much.